Welcome to a harsh reality broadcast on the 17th of July 2014. The title of this presentation is called Living on Borrowed Time. Now normally in my presentations I'll have some economic facts to show you. However, today I want this to be a little bit different, more of a chat about human behaviour. Now I've called this Living on Borrowed Time, this presentation, because it's all about debt. And let's look at the facts. Significant over-leveraging since 1971. Back in 1971, the President of the United States, Richard Nixon, took the dollar off the gold standard. Prior to that, there was gold in reserve and there was a fractional reserve ratio of about 1 to 9. But since that, we found ingenious ways to over-leverage with the introduction of quantitative easing, ultra-low interest rates, introduction of credit cards, subprime lending, derivatives, and the US abandoning the debt ceiling. That was earlier on this year in January. Many people will not see the economic crash coming simply because the human brain has flaws. Let's talk about optimism bias. I'll give you an example of that. When a couple are about to get married, if they were asked what were the chances of their marriage being successful, they would say very high. However, the statistics point the other way. Normalcy bias, well, people who suffer from normalcy bias will not be able to cope with a catastrophe in the future, because if they've had quite a good lifestyle in their life, they expect that to continue into the future. Conditioning. Now, the human brain is easily conditioned. And I'm sorry to say this, and I know a few people disagree with me, but religion is one of the tools that are used to condition people. When you are brought up with a particular belief system, it's very, very hard to shift it. And you actually believe that your belief system is the right one. Now, I remember watching a program on television, it was about 15 years ago, and they had various religious leaders, and they're all talking about their own religion. And they came to this particular Catholic priest, and he said, before we go any further, I want to tell you that our religion is the right one and the other ones are fakes. Now that tells me more about that person than anything else. But I'll have to be honest, I respect other people, because I know that once they've got a particular belief system, it is extremely difficult to shift. And I wouldn't even try to shift it. What I try to do is to see the whole picture, the whole viewpoint on things. So I try to get a balanced picture when I look at things. I have a particular way of looking at life, and I realise that other people have a different way of looking at life, and I just accept it. And I put here, a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. And it is a famous line from a song called The Boxer. And I really believe that is true. And we tend to gravitate around like-minded people, and this consolidates our confirmation bias. Yes, I do have particular views on the world. I know I do, but what I try to do is understand that I have these particular views and think about it logically. And if I come across a situation where I think I'm wrong, I'll be prepared to admit it. Some people don't. Some people will be so ingrained with their views, there's nothing you can do to change their viewpoints. So when I discuss matters with people, I can discuss them till the cows come home, and probably will never change their viewpoint, and they may have difficulty changing my viewpoint. I like to think I'm logical, but I know that I have strengths and I have what we call tolerable weaknesses. Now, I used to be a member of a senior management team. I was head of HR, and part of our training was to do the Myers-Briggs personality test. And it made me aware that everybody thinks differently. We're all wired differently. So the way I view the world is completely different to how some other people view the world, and that's just the way it is. I will never change it. They can't change me, and I can't change them. But what I do understand, having done the Myers-Briggs personality test, that we are wired differently, and we've just got to accept the differences. Okay, this is the end of my presentation, and I've put here with Willie Coyote falling down, he's got a sign that says, "This feels strange, what's going to happen next?" Just in conclusion regarding the economic problems, I truly believe that we are heading for an economic crash. And when I say an economic crash, I don't mean a Mad Max scenario. What I do mean is a reduction of our standard of living and a more draconian government to control the masses. Because we've had a reasonably stable lifestyle, we're going to find the adjustments very, very difficult. Because I've mentally prepared myself, hopefully I won't find it too bad, but I know a lot of people will, because it's not what they expect in this cosy lifestyle that they've got. Too many people are distracted with poor celebrity role models, watching so-called reality TV. Well, I'm afraid real reality is going to hit people. I don't want it to. I'm not a doom and gloom merchant, but that's the way it is. Right, my phone's just gone off, so well done. Thank you for listening. Bye now.